Welcome back to Swisher Podcast, the greatest podcast on earth, self-proclaimed greatest podcast on earth. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at SwisherENT. Make sure you also go on YouTube and follow the YouTube channel at Swisher Podcast to keep up with the podcast and what's going on, man. It's been a while since I dropped the last podcast, man. There's been a lot going on, and since that necessarily the pandemic, obviously coronavirus pandemic is going on, and it hasn't been too many events or news going on other than that, and the coronavirus and the pandemic, man. It's been a lot of different ups and downs during this time, man. You see a lot of people losing their jobs. You see a lot of people working from home. You see a lot of people getting very creative on different ways to make money, and I guess this is the time you see who's really making that money at a time like this, especially in the celebrities and these athletes, these guys spending all this money, and who's been saving their money. But like I said, it's Swisher Podcast, greatest podcast on earth. Make sure you guys go on YouTube and hit all that, follow and like. But yeah, man, Swisher Podcast back. Finally, a great time to do the podcast. You know, everybody telling me, when we dropping another podcast? When you do another podcast? Podcast is great. You should do this. You should do that. You know, it's only so much I can do at this point because I'm limited with equipment and space. But it's a lot of things that I want to do with the podcast. Definitely want to expand a lot when it comes to the space and just making maybe 3 mics total and having that to have interviews and just have total conversations with people that want to get on. People want to get on. I'm not able to accommodate people right now, but like I said, just got to keep working hard, keep putting these episodes out, and just keep showing how dedicated I am to this podcast shit, man. And I know that one day it'll all come true, but you know, definitely a great time to produce episodes at a time where I think the last episode has been about almost a month, a few weeks since I dropped this last episode. I think it was called Corona-itis. If you haven't, go check that out whenever you get a chance. If you want to pause this, go listen to that. I put a lot of effort into that episode. If you want to, you know, listen to it later, just go check it out. It's called Corona-itis. It was my last episode. I'm almost at 150 episodes, man. Road to 200, man. Road to 200. I've been doing this for a while now, and it feels good just to do something, and it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to get up and get on the computer, set the mic up and everything and do this. It feels like something that I genuinely love to do. Getting on here and having people hear my opinion, and getting on here and having others, you know, giving my opinion on others, you know, thoughts on others, what they may or may not be doing and stuff like that is something that I look forward to keep doing and just to do in general, man. You know, I'm feeling good right now. I feel like I can get back into the stride of producing the episodes, a lot of episodes. I'm going to try to produce a good amount in the next few days, so you guys can definitely look forward into hearing more from me, Swisher Podcast, and you know, I'll try to upload it on YouTube. I'm not, like I said, I'm still not doing the video, which is bringing my YouTube views down a bunch, man. This would be a great time to actually probably upload on YouTube a lot of those videos, you know, that I had, you know, just did in the past, you know. I might even look into re-uploading a lot of those shows in a different type of form, maybe like the best clips or like different parts of your podcast. But it's definitely something I look forward to doing. It's getting those views up on YouTube, man. Once you got the views on YouTube, everything else kind of falls in place. I feel like Spotify has been looking out. I've been able to get as many, a lot of views on, a lot of plays on Spotify and different platforms. But definitely great to see people coming in from different sources. Definitely having their YouTube channel popping would be something that I look forward to within the future, man. But anyway, this coronavirus is changing the world. This coronavirus is changing the way we live, the way we think, the way we go about just everyday life, you know, even the way we may get food, you know. Everything is changing, and, you know, what a time to be alive at a time where you start to see things no longer exist almost. Like, I want to say, like, the movie theaters going out, that was kind of fading out anyway due to Netflix and a lot of these streaming services. Because, like, back in the day, and still now, don't get me wrong, to be in a big box office, be in a movie, big box office movie or whatnot, to get your movie in theaters is something that everyone who's an actor or who's in that field would love to have and like somewhat still love to have. But now, since we're streaming, it's just streaming errands, and especially since everybody is stuck at home, having that Netflix movie, having that big Netflix movie is what's going to get you to that stardom, is what's going to get you noticed. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got Netflix is almost like an Instagram, you know, it's tied in with Instagram in a way. You get a viral video, you got a viral movie on Netflix, it's going to get that attention. And the movie theaters just wasn't getting that. So the movie theaters are apparently closing, and you may not see too many movie theaters ever again. And I'm just going to deep dive into that a little bit more. A lot of these movie theaters are going to have to bring something more than just the movie and a big screen. You know, we have seen movie theaters try to progress through this time, and even way years before this, when they start giving beer, you can drink beer, you can have food brought to you. You can just it gives you that at home experience. The one thing it doesn't do is they want to give you the at home experience. They're giving you the chair, they're giving you the blanket, they're bringing you the food. You know, they're making you they want to make you feel at home. But the only thing that's killing them is that you still have to get up, put clothes on, you have to drive to the movie theater. So the question is, for the movie theaters, what can you do to make it even more convenient for viewers who don't want to get up and get ready and be around people and go to movie theaters? Especially since now during this pandemic, it's a lot of live events, a lot of clubs, a lot of bars, a lot of public places like that have been attacked, and it's definitely going to suffer from this coronavirus pandemic. But get back on the movie theaters, it's just, how are they going to stay alive? You know, how are they going to stay alive? And honestly, if I was movie theater, and as soon as this streaming shit got to going real good, as soon as Netflix really got to popping, and Hulu and all this other stuff, they should have created their own streaming service, AMC streaming service. Nothing but big box off movies. Imagine that. Movie don't go straight to Netflix. Movie just go straight to AMC. You download the AMC app, movie app, and you watch it on your own time. That's another thing, convenience. Movie theater doesn't give you convenience. You have to be there between these time periods. And you have to be there. You only have 3 or 4 times a day to be there. With these streaming services, you don't have to be anywhere in a certain time. You can, when you want. You give people the ability to listen when they want. Like this podcast, you can listen to this podcast when you want. You give people the ability to do what they want when they want, the freedom, then you get the results. A lot of companies do that. Google gives their employees the freedom. Give them scooters, bikes, games. Go do this, go do that. So they know you give them that freedom, they're going to get that work ethic out of them. Okay? And it's just to see what's going to survive through this and see what's not, you know. So I already saying, unless the movie theaters, unless they stream online and just go straight to online, they're gone. Now, a big topic to tackle is live events. So how are live events going to come back? How are live events going to be like they were? A lot of people are losing money. You got entertainers, all types of entertainers, comedians, comedy, rappers, singer, actors, blah, 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 blah. People that just do anything. People that just get on stage and talk, and motivational speaker, you know. These people are losing money rapidly. Each day, every month, millions and millions and millions are being lost within the entertainment industry. I've seen on Instagram they're doing these battles. You may have seen a few battles. You see like Babyface, Teddy Riley. You know, you have French Montana, was it Tory Lanez or French Montana and somebody else. You have these battles, hit battles, where people are able to play song for song on Instagram Live, and they have over hundreds, thousands of people watching. More people than they will ever like have at a concert or whatnot. You have Tory Lanez getting creative and doing quarantine radio, which is over 300,000 people watching at one time quarantine radio, where he brings other people in, pretty much interviews or does whatever, talks to them, and he has from celebrities to just regular random randoms able to join that live and just have that access. So I think, like I said, at a time like this, you'll see where the real creators, the people who really know how to create and doesn't have so much of a team doing everything for them, these are the people that's going to rise to the top, I feel like. So like I said, Tory Lanez is one of the people I feel like is going to be able to survive through this, man. And like I said, we really don't know when all this will end. When will we be able to go to a sporting event? When will we be able to go to a live concert or anything in that sort? But if you're just tuning in, this is Swisher Podcast, self-proclaimed greatest podcast on earth. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at swisherent. Make sure you also go on YouTube and hit that subscribe button at Swisher Podcast. Man, this is like I said, for all you creators out there, for all those people who always wanted to start a YouTube channel, wanted to start anything, use this time to create, use this time to really put that content out, use this time to really focus on, you know, you and you know, working on yourself, because like I said, we don't know exactly when all this will end. We don't know when this coronavirus, you know, will end. And stay home. You know, if they're saying stay home, stay home. Don't be one of these people out here at the little parties and joint. I know it gets crazy or whatnot, but stay home so we can get back out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, y'all niggas act like a little kid in class. It's like, yo, just do what you gotta do so we can go outside and play. But this nigga want to keep messing up, and so now everybody gotta stay inside because this little dude don't want to do right. But make sure you guys stay inside, stay safe, stay healthy. Make sure you work out, you know, stay fit, you know, you know what I'm saying, what you got to do to keep your mental health in the right, you know, array or whatnot, and just do what you got to do, because we don't know, like I said, we don't know how long it's going to be like this, and, you know, it may not ever get back to exactly how normal and how careless we were at one point. And I was thinking, when the bars and the clubs and stuff like that open back up, where it's like a really social scene, people are still going to be in there with masks on. People are still going to keeping their distance. It's going to this coronavirus will always be in the back of people's heads for the next, at least to 2022, for the next year or two, because they don't put the information out there. Then are scared to people. Now, how do you fix the problem and get the trust of the people back again? How do you gain the trust of the American people? You know, I know it's all over the world, but how do you gain the trust back of the people to make them feel safe that they can go outside, they can go to a function or event and still feel comfortable that they're not going to get sick or not going to catch a coronavirus, man? A lot of money's being lost. I feel like when this all starts back up, you're going to be able to see a lot of these NFL games, a lot of these NBA games, the crowd's going to be very scattered. It's not going to be as many people at these events until it's a guarantee that this coronavirus case is over with. And like I said, I don't know. I just feel like at a time like this, so we need some type of guaranteed, either a cure or a guarantee that if we do this, that the coronavirus will not harm us, or, you know, we won't get it. You know, the same way they made us fear it, the same way they told us to stay at home, wear the mask and fear, they didn't give us that same feeling when it comes to feeling safe and going back out again. You know what I'm saying? You got babies, you got kids. You got to really make these people feel like they're able to leave their homes and go to these public events or go to these places, and, you know, they're able to be safe in their environment. And that's just something that I'm thinking about, man. I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've been thinking about a lot of things I want to do with the podcast. I've been thinking about a lot of things I just want to do in general with this whole business, man. I go so hard. I go so hard for the podcast. I go so hard for this, man. And I was looking at this is a little quote for y'all. I was looking at a video, and it just said, "Yo, if you doing something for money, it's one thing it'll never come to, and the second thing it's you're not gonna be able to do it long because you don't love doing that. When you're doing something that you love doing, when you're doing something that you can do and not even notice you doing, imagine you love playing pickup basketball. Imagine you can just go play pickup basketball and get paid for it. And you be like, fuck, I do this anyway because I just love doing it. So I don't even need to get paid. Well, I love to get paid, but I don't even need to get paid for hooping because that's just something I hoop. That's just something I do. So when you do something that's just strictly something you love to do, sitting down right here, it's either me talking to the podcast, to the people, or me chatting with somebody else so you guys can learn something, or it's just me making these little videos. This is something I truly love to do. Always been somewhat of a creator. Always wanted to start a YouTube channel. Always wanted to do something on the creative ends. Love being my own boss. Love being in charge. Love doing what I want to do the way I want to do it, make it look how I want it to look. Love the freedom, the freelance, the freedom to do something like this and not be under somebody, not being on a syllabus, not being under any type of restriction, and just the love for talking, love for the podcast, love for getting like I said, my opinion out to the world. Is you can't. I don't need a lot of money to do this. Would a lot of money be great for doing this? Yeah, obviously anybody would love a lot of money for doing something, in general. But like I said, once you start doing things out of the love, the money will follow. Everything else will follow suit. Once you start doing things for money, you usually have things crash. So you got to go and find the love for what you want to do. And I feel like that's why I may have took a few times. When I start feeling myself doing stuff for the money or trying to get the money or for the money, it feels like the content suffers. It feels like I'm just doing shit that's not me just to get the likes and then get the laughs and then get the, get out the audience. But something as like this, like a podcast, when you're talking, people know what's authentic, people know what's not. So you're able to give people your authentic self, be real, be you, and then you're able to keep creating content. You're able to keep building on that content. You're able to give people the real. And the real that lasts, and you're able to do that way longer than playing a character just for likes, So my advice for anybody out there that want to start something, if you rapping, singing, acting, boxing, trying to get to the NFL league, do you and do what you want to do to the fullest. Don't let these people tell you not to do it. Don't say blah, 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 blah. Because 9 out of 10, these people who's telling you who not to do this or not, these people are just like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Is the people that's already miserable and they don't want to see somebody else actually trying to go for their dreams or whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Now these people miserable working some shit they don't want to work, telling the next nigga not to pursue his dream because they don't want to see another nigga make it. And that's just how it is. I'm just dropping the real. I'm just dropping the real for people to enjoy it. And I think that's what people like. People like to hear the real. But once again, this is Swisher Podcast. I appreciate you guys so much for listening. Once again, make sure you share the podcast with everybody in your house, or if you're at work, some of those essential workers, make sure you share with people at work, man. We all need to hear a good podcast and a good word from Swisher Podcast. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at SwisherENT. Make sure you also go on YouTube and hit that subscribe button at Swisher Podcast on YouTube. And stay tuned for the next episode. Definitely going to try to put a lot of episodes out soon. Once again, this is Swisher Podcast, and I'm out.